I'm Keith Reynolds, host of Morning Coffee, and I'm here with my show Charlene Chamberlain. We've actually had some fun today, Char.
Teasing you
Yes,
about your hair.
teasing me about my hair, which I'm going to go there Saturday to get fixed.
So Monday he's going to look different.
I am going to look
Yeah,
different.
new
I'm
look.
interesting, barbers see different things.
They do.
Obviously,
that you can't just buzz yourself every,
I
week.
know, but you know what? I mean, it's hard. It's hard to find a barber. It's hard to find a good barber.
Well, I
So,
think Debbie will take great care of you.
I know she will. She had such confidence. So who do we have on now?
Our next guest is Lynn Landis, and your company is called?
Well, it's actually a meetup. And
Is it Wild Foodies?
The Wild Foodies
The
of
Wild
Philly.
Foodies of
Yes,
Philadelphia.
Yes.
Wow. So
So-
it's a bunch of people that meet up and dine out?
Yes. Actually, I started it 5 years ago.
Okay.
And there's a website called meetup.com.
Yes, I'm on
So
that.
you can sign up for
Wait a
all
minute.
kinds of interests if it's
Not
golfing
dating.
or knitting or all kinds of things. So 5 years ago, I started a meetup, thinking, well, why don't we just get together, anyone interested, and walk around and start identifying wild edible plants,
Oh,
in the local
interesting.
parks, in our neighborhood, things like that. And I've been very active in on a lot of issues. Many of them to do with health and the environment and politics and all kinds of things that were, not that much fun, to be honest. So this was a nice break from all of that. And also I found once I started the group, the response was unbelievable. People were just so curious about this subject. So it just sort of took off, and now we have almost 1,700 members
In
Whoa.
our area.
in Philadelphia. Well, it actually extends beyond that, because we have people who come up from Delaware, one lady from Virginia, to come to some of our tours.
Right.
Very nice. I thought you
Yeah.
were cheating on me when you said you were on that.
No, never.
So this is a bad time to come out with that.
Yeah, some people think meetup is like a social. Let's
Yeah.
and some of them can be, but
Oh, yeah.
that's not the
Not-
real
yeah.
purpose. It's for people who have similar interests.
Interests, right.
Yeah, and the fun thing about it was that I really didn't know that much about the subject when I started the group. I just was very upfront about it, saying let's do this as a collaborative learning experience. I knew maybe less than 20 wild edible plants. But, the more I gave the tours, and also we encourage other people
To participate
and
right.
lead their own tours. And we always say, you don't have to be an expert. Don't tell people you're an expert if you're not, but just, get together with people in your neighborhood, go to the local park or to your backyard, actually, and start identifying, what's edible. And there's just a ton of things that are edible.
That
that's
people don't
interesting.
even know about.
They-
Carol Moore was on last
Carol Moore
week, and
was
she
talking
talked
about,
a lot
right.
about if you don't feel well, go make some pine needle tea.
Which we had.
Yeah, we had pine
I
needle
felt
tea.
great that
Right,
day.
right.
We talked a lot about dandelions and all the different things you can do with them, but I'm sure there are many, many, many other plants that we're not even aware of that are edible or medicinal.
Right. Well, there is one exception to my wild edibles list of plants, and we have field guides we put together. We also have all kinds of reference and resource material that people can take advantage of online, or purchasing books online, things like that. But everything is generally wild except for hosta. And a lot of people have hosta in their yards.
I do.
Hostas,
And
yeah.
have a lot of
hosta
hostas.
is from Asia, Japan, and countries in Asia, and so it's been cultivated and hybridized for so many years. I'm not really sure which are the completely wild original hosta plants, but I call them nature's taco shell, because you can take the young hosta leaves. I would take the young ones rather than the old ones.
Right.
You can put chicken salad,
Really?
egg salad, anything
All right.
in that
All right.
hosta
I've
leaf.
learned. Whoa.
Wait a minute.
All
My
my-
whole yard is filled with hostas.
I have hostas around my, and I actually
and I
have.
love them.
Yeah.
I think I do have a wild form of hosta, but it doesn't look like
The leaf is
hosta.
different.
The leaf is different.
It's
It's,
more of a
actually
round leaf?
almost yes. It's a round leaf, and it's actually a
Huge.
taller plant.
Yeah.
I got
Yes.
it from my neighbor who's oh my God, he has so many things in his yard.
Well, in our field guide, we recommend 3 different kinds of hosta that we found online that the chefs like to use. But I just go around tasting them just to see, what the taste is, because it will vary a little bit. But the thing about the hostas is they're very crunchy. So you can just bite it and crunch, or you can crunch right through that.
Well,
yeah, and as compared to some other plants like plantain, which is not the banana, but the other, the weed that a lot of people are taking out of their yards. It looks a lot like that, the same leaf, but the plantain leaf has these ribs in the back that are really tough. And so unless it's a young leaf, you can't really bite through it when it gets to be bigger. So the hosta is different. It remains, it looks the same except larger, and it is crunchy. So, I mean, to me, that is the plant people should be looking at first, something that's acceptable, conventional, easy to use, and the taste.
I was going to say, what does a hosta taste like?
It's kind of a bland taste. It's neither here nor there. It's certainly not bitter. A lot of people talk about dandelions, and to me, that's a bitter taste. I'm not a huge fan of dandelions. They do say we should have bitter in our diet because it's important, but actually, the dandelion blossom I like better. You just pick that, and it's kind of sweet, and that's what they use to make dandelion wine.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with some more interesting facts.
In a world where bankers have lost all interest, where robots and fat cats rule our fortunes, one woman will stand up and strive to do the impossible. Be treated like a person. Friends and neighbors will join her quest. Ordinary people will band together against the forces of corporate greed. And together they will form Philadelphia Federal Credit Union, already in a neighborhood near you.
Imagine the finest hand-selected USDA prime steak you'll ever have. The freshest line-caught seafood, our Wine Spectator award-winning wine list, and soul-satisfying desserts. Bring that together with the perfect date, the winning business deal, a memorable family celebration. Welcome to Rod's Steak and Seafood Grill in nearby Morristown, New Jersey. Bring your appetite and feed your passion.
Your credit score is yours, and at Experian Credit Expert, we want to help you really use it. With access to helpful Experian experts over the phone and online, we can help you use it to get a better idea of what info the banks have on you. Use it to get more choice of mortgages. Use it to make your money go further. Take the next step to improving your financial future with your free 30-day trial at experian.co.uk.
Here at Freppi's Tex-Mex, you can definitely taste the freshness in our food. You should definitely come to Freppi's because it's a great place. You can bring your family, very kid-friendly. All my servers are amazing, friendly people. Everyone here is just happy to serve, and I think it shows. The thing that sets us apart is the quality and freshness of our food. And I think once you try it, you'd be coming back. I'm Joe DeSario, co-owner of Freppi's Tex-Mex in Plainfield, New Jersey.
Hey, my name is Jimmy Love, and I'm here to tell you about an exciting new television show called Buy, Sell, or Give It Away. Tired of waiting for those high-priced newspaper ads to print? You call them up and you have to wait 2 or 3 days for the ad to show up? Well, no more waiting. Every day, right here at noon, from 12 to 1, Buy, Sell, or Give It Away is going to be accessible for you to call in. Maybe you got a boat for sale. I'm selling my pet dinosaur. Maybe you want to sell your house. Give away some furniture to a family in need. Just give us a call. We'll tell everybody what you have for sale or what you're looking for, and your response will be immediate, and it's free. Hey, listen, summertime is coming. Maybe you want to buy a travel trailer or maybe rent a travel trailer. Just give us a call. Buy, Sell, and Give Away. Fantastic show. Don't miss it. Tune in every day for 12 to 1 right here at RadioVisionNetwork.com. Buy, Sell, or give it away.
Today's show has been sponsored by More Than Gifts. Come see our new location in Marlton, New Jersey. Not just gifts, but more.
Well, welcome back. I'm Keith Reynolds, host of Morning Coffee, here with my show Charlene Chamberlain.
And we're here with Lynn Landis of the Wild Foodies of Philadelphia.
And we are learning some interesting facts.
About the wild things that just grow right in your backyard and how
Yeah.
edible they are.
Right. So what we like to do is talk to people first about things they're familiar with. So even when your daylilies come up, as soon as those daylilies start coming up, you can just break them off. And they're very crunchy and succulent. And it's a nice taste. It's, I don't know how you would describe it, but it's a starchy kind of fresh taste. Once it gets older, then, it's not so great. But some people take the blossoms and also fry them up and, saute them. But I'm a real fan of when they first start coming up, you snap some of them off. And then they'll grow. Their roots are also can be cooked and eaten. So we like to tell people there's things that are very conventional looking that are wild. You don't want to go with the daylilies with a hybrid. You want to stay with the orange single petaled wild daylily.
Right.
But there are things like rose bushes as well that you could use the rose hips in teas and things like that.
Yeah.
But then, so what we would do is, one of the areas I like to do my tours around is behind the Art Museum, and it's called Lemon Hill.
Yes.
Yes, it's a great place, and a lot of people think, well, you would want to forage, in the woods or on the, in a field or on a farm. But to be honest, the cities are a great place to forage, and particularly abandoned lots. Now, you might have to worry about the soil conditions and some contamination, things like that. But you find more variety in a city, actually, than you do in a farm field, often. So in our neighborhood, for instance, there's a ton of amaranth coming up. I have to say, amaranth is the most delicious vegetable. You can just...
Never eaten it.
Oh, it's so delicious.
What is amaranth?
Well, amaranth is a plant. You can buy it at the nursery, at nurseries, but that's not the kind of amaranth I'm talking about. And it usually is like red or yellow blossoms. But the wild form of amaranth is just a green plant that can grow, 3 feet tall, sometimes taller, with a lot of seeds. Originally from South America and Central America, but it's made its way up. And there's several different kinds of species of amaranth, but when it cooks up, it's just delicious. It tastes a bit like spinach, but to me it's better. And when it's young, like it is right now, it's got the seeds, so you get that extra tactile experience when you're eating this cooked veggie. And it only takes a minute to cook up.
All fresh, all that stuff.
Yes, whereas lamb's quarters, which a lot of people are familiar with.
No, what are lamb's quarters?
Well, that's another green plant that comes up, and when it comes
Is
up,
that
it's
also called lamb's ear?
no, lamb's
Okay.
ear is lamb's
Different.
ear is a cultivated version
Okay.
of mullein.
Okay.
Mullein is coming up now also, but that's more of it's got a lot of uses, not so much edible.
How about
So-
mugwort?
Mugwort is another interesting one that's coming up now.
I'm just mentioning because I pulled a lot of mugwort out last
Okay,
weekend.
mugwort has all kinds of uses.
Yeah.
And so it's also called sagewort. So think of sage, think of
Right.
that herb. And that's how you would use it maybe with a turkey or poultry dish. And it's an herb, it's not a vegetable dish. So then some people also use it in teas. It's supposed to elicit more lucid dreams. I've never done that. I'm just hanging on to every brain cell I have. I'm not going to experiment.
Okay, so it's kind of it's psychedelic.
Well, they said it gives you more lucid dreams. You can
Right.
remember them with clarity, I suppose. Some people say it doesn't do anything like that. So, and it's got even other uses, and I'm not going to go into that.
Okay.
But it really grows up in a lot of places. So it's abundant.
Okay. We're going to take another commercial break, and then we're going to come back
Find out some more about things that are in your backyard.
I want to find out on break what other thing it does. So.
Of course you do.
Here, we have an attractive orange and a distinguished apple. The two similar, but opposites. Clearly, a wingman is needed, or perhaps a wing lemon. A friend to the orange and an acquaintance to the apple, the lemon brings the two opposites together. See, with a little fresh thinking, the universe can be surprisingly smooth.
When we make Beyond Natural dry dog and cat foods, we start with real meat as the first ingredient. We leave out corn, wheat, and soy. And we own where our dry food is made. 100%. Can other brands say all that? For nutrition you can trust and your pet will enjoy. Does your food go beyond? Learn more at purinabeyond.com.
Fitzpatrick's. Deli dine for breakfast and lunch. And at night, gourmet dine for dinner with entrees and specialty sandwiches including certified black Angus cuts of beef and wild-caught seafood, plus catering options for specialty events. Since 1989, Fitzpatrick's, your hometown place with upscale tastes.
Apple Ridge is about freedom. Apple Ridge is about community. Apple Ridge is about home. Apple Ridge, everything you want, more than you expect. Welcome to your new neighborhood. Apple Ridge Senior Living. Enjoy a maintenance-free, affordable luxury lifestyle today. Visit appleridgeseniorliving.com and find out more about the Apple Ridge experience.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Milan, host of Read All About It. I interview authors of all kinds about their journeys of writing and the struggles that they face. You can watch my show at 12 p.m. on Wednesdays. Tune in to Radio Vision Networks. We hope to see you then.
Today's show has been sponsored by Farmers Insurance in Voorhees, New Jersey. To protect your assets and the people you love, call Mike Skoranek, your local Farmers Insurance agent, at 856-336-2553.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Well, welcome back. I'm Keith Reynolds, host of Morning Coffee, here with my show co Charlene Chamberlain and Char, our guest.
And we're talking to Lynn about all of the wonderful wild things that grow in your backyard that are edible. And it's pretty amazing.
Yes, it is. We just have so much to choose from. As I said, in my neighborhood, which is Center City, Philadelphia, so we don't have a yard per se.
Right.
We have the amaranth, the lamb's quarters. Something called poor man's pepper comes up.
Poor man's pepper. What's that look like?
Well, it's a cress. It's in the mustard family, so it develops these teeny little kind of medallion seeds throughout the heat of the summer, and you'll see them, in the sidewalk cracks everywhere. And you just take one little medallion and put it on your tongue and bite that, and boy, you wait a second,
pepper.
Wait for it, and you get the pepper. Right,
wow.
Right. It's just amazing. The mustard cress family is really great. I mean, they produce different species from spring to fall. One of the things a lot of people talk about are the invasive species. So we have garlic mustard that grows sort of at the edge of woods. They like some sun, some shade, and a lot of government people want that contained, but
why?
Because it's an invasive species. It's not native. Our group takes the position that it's a case by case basis, because many of the plants you see all the time now are invasive. Getting back to the plantain that we talked about, the plantain has a broadleaf and narrowleaf varieties. But that is probably the #1 medicinal plant in the whole world.
Plantain.
Plantain, that leaf. Because now, if you went to eat it, it's got a mushroomy taste. And the green seeds, when it sends up its stalk, the broadleaf sends up a stalk that has seeds up and down this little stalk. and the narrow leaf, it's just at the top. But if you've got a yard with weeds in it, plantain is going to be
in there
a lot.
Okay.
It's everywhere. But people don't realize what a phenomenal medicinal plant that is.
Well, what does it do?
Well, it's an antibiotic, antiseptic, and it's a coagulant. So if you have a cut or a wound of any sort or a bee sting, it's good for that. It's I will say, stinging nettles, you want jewelweed, which is a different plant.
Jewelweed.
But some people use it for that too, but jewelweed's great for stinging nettle. But getting back to plantain, so I had a case of diverticulitis, and I just took a little bit of plantain and ate it every night. It was gone like within 24 hours. I didn't have a problem because it's healing, and it has a coating as well. So it's healing internally and externally, both, and it's a coagulant. So a lot of us are eating a lot of foods like almonds and almond butter and things like that are anti-inflammatory, and they basically thin out our blood a lot. Well, that can get to be a problem. And so you need to have your vitamin K, your kale and spinach and other things as well. And so this is in that grouping. But it's just a phenomenal plant, and so it goes internally and externally, but it also dries out. So I've tried a lot of plants. I don't use soaps or detergents or anything like that, so I'll use plants. Like for my laundry, I'll take some pine needles and some spearmint, mint, put them in the blender with some water, sieve out the fiber, and then put that in the laundry. And so that does a couple of things. Those things, again, are also kind of antiseptic, anti-mold.
Oh yeah, pine needles, definitely.
Right, and they'll also help keep away things like, if you have woolens, we would protect them from moths. And so, I'll use those things for that kind of thing. I'll use the pine needle mint combination on my floors to wash the floors. Even in the wintertime, the mice will come, and I'll just start using that a lot, and they'll go away, because these things have, like menthol odors and other things that they're natural pesticides, actually. So, that also means, like the pine needle, which Carol brought over, has the vitamin C. You want to drink some of that. Do you want to overdo it? Well, we don't want to overdo anything.
No.
So everything in moderation.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. So where can people find more information about this Foodies meetup group?
Well, rather than give the meetup address, I'll just people can go to wildfoodies.org.
Wildfoodies.org.
And then the link to the meetup group is there, and you can join for free. Most of the tours are free. Some of them, we have some professionals who charge a fee. One of the things that's coming up is August 14th. We're going to have a big charity event for a nonprofit in Philadelphia, and we had a professional catering company offer to do this and concentrate on foraged foods.
Ooh,
and it's going to be the first event of its kind in Philadelphia.
Really?
So we're very excited about that. So I just told our members, keep August the 14th available, and we'll be posting that soon. So that'll be very exciting.
Sounds exciting. I mean, we have to. Can we come over and check it out?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
well,
want to come check that out.
Yeah, I think that would be great.
Okay, great.
Maybe we'll bring a camera or
Yeah,
two.
absolutely.
That would be fun.
Well, this is going to conclude morning coffee for this morning. We've had such a great time, and tomorrow.
Equally as fun.
Yep,
We have a lot
equally
of
as
great
fun.
guests
We'll be
coming on
right back
tomorrow,
at
too.
it again. I want to thank our sponsor, one of our sponsors, our food sponsor today, Jersey Mike's, is supplying us our food at the studio here today, and they're also one of our food sponsors tomorrow, along with some other. I'll keep it a secret until tomorrow morning. But have a great day, and hopefully you tune in tomorrow.